Welcome back. Former Grosley MP turned Soufrière hopeful Emma Hippolyte is expressing her gratitude for the completion on a number of works undertaken in the southwestern community. However, the thank you was not solely for the persons who completed the projects. Hippolyte says the majority of the gratitude needs to be directed towards SLP ministers who initiated the projects in the first place. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
A new square, a new bus terminal and a market. These make up a few of the projects which have been completed in the town of Soufrière in recent times, adding some much-needed life, beauty and style to the western community. A visit to the town, dubbed Sulphur City, is a must to visitors to the island who wish to take in some of the island's most iconic sites, including the Sulphur Springs and the pitons. Whilst the renovations came as a welcomed breath of fresh air, former Grosley MP Emma Hippolyte has given kudos to the persons who thought of the projects in the first place.
Yes, we have a new Soufrière Square, but we must remember the people of Soufrière are happy that now the government have actually released us from prison. The Soufrière Square, which is a project of Honorable Dalson, the new administration had Soufrière on the plywood for 3 years. So the people are happy that now we are released from green plywood. And we want to thank Honorable Dalson for the vision of the square, and we want to thank this government for finally completing the square. So that's one. This bus terminal and market, again, it was a vision of Honorable Dalson. It is there, but what I see and what I hear on the ground, the vendors are still not happy. Certain parts of the thing is, I think there's phase 1, phase 2 to come.
Hippolyte said whilst these works have been completed, it has had a ripple effect on other businesses, and this requires attention in Soufrière.
When you look, what I'm not hearing at all is the impact on the businesses around the square, the impact on the vendors, and that's an issue that needs to be addressed, because sometimes we create development and we don't look at it in a complete and holistic manner. And there's been some shift in the income of businesses closer to the square and the vendors who used to sell around the square. So it is an issue that requires some attention.
Hippolyte suggested that the powers that be take some time to speak to the vendors at the market and hear what they have to say. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. It was an opportunity to see the lighter side of the man who has in many circles gained a reputation of lording over the city with an iron fist. Peterson Francis appeared as a guest on the hot seat on Saturday. Host Trisha Lionel wanted to know a bit more about his family dynamic.
A mayor, a minister, and a party chairman. One staunch Labour Party man, 2 former Labour Party supporters turned UWP frontmen. That's the dynamic of the Francis brothers, once all supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, now in opposite political camps. But according to Mayor Peterson Francis, the Francis brothers are not at all divided by the issue of politics. Speaking as a guest on Hot 7 TV's The Hot Seat, Francis delved into all aspects of his life and career. He noted that he and his high-profile brothers are close. He credited his brother with pointing him in the direction of mayorship.
And you know why I'm here today as mayor? Is that out of the blues I got a call from my brother Claudius Francis. I think he got a wind of the name that was coming up for mayor, which a lot of people didn't have much confidence in. And he said, look, you're a candidate, you have to withdraw, you had your plans for the city, and you know, I feel that's an opportunity time if you become mayor to implement the things that you had in mind. You don't have to be an MP. I heard what he said.
You took the advice of your brother? Oh, your brother?
Huh?
You took the advice of?
No, in my quiet moment when I said, yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, you don't have to be an MP if there is an avenue that you could do certain things of what you had in mind. And probably that is why, that's probably why people see that there is, and that is why now today, I've got my MP, I spoke to her, and that is why now I'm mayor of Castries.
In 2017, 2 of the brothers, talk show host Claudius Francis and National Security Minister Hermangild Francis, got into a public squabble, with Claudius Francis referring to a statement by his brother, the minister, as stupid. The matter, it seems, caused no bad blood. In fact, Peterson Francis insisted that he and his brothers leave the politics out of their familial affairs.
I always wondered, I think many solutions wonder, what is a dinner like? Maybe at Christmas when all the brothers sit together. Is there a lot of tension at all?
No, there's no tension about it. I usually say it's dinner time is to eat.
Okay then. If it's not dinner time and, different political divides, how is your relationship with your brothers?
Excellent. Family, the Francis family, which you might say is a clan now.
A clan.
Yeah. We do not engage in politics. Rather, even when we are all together on one side, we have never think. I mean, we have our opinion. Especially, I'm a very quiet guy. Is the mayorship? Your people that have put me in the spotlight. I'm a very quiet guy. I'm a very guy to myself. So we don't speak. Like as I said, when I moved to United Workers Party, I never informed my brothers.
The brothers are all blazing their own trail, although not as part of the same political team. Is it possible that the three brothers may once again be on the same side, politically speaking? For Peterson and Hermangild Francis, they have both stated publicly their loyalty to the UWP and their high esteem for Prime Minister Alan Shastney. Claudius Francis is a firm supporter of the SLP and extols the former leadership of Dr. Kenny Anthony. But be that as it may, the Francis clan, as the mayor puts it, remains strong and tight.
Education is the key to success. It is in this spirit that the PCD team hosted the 27th annual Ricardo Leonard Scholarship Awards, named after the late Ricardo Leonard, former CEO of Peter and Company Distribution, remembered as a generous visionary man who treasured education.
The outstanding achievements made by children of staff members of Peter and Company Distribution were recognized at the 27th Annual Ricardo Leonard Memorial Scholarship Awards. Working under the theme, Inspire Your Soul, Nourish Your Mind, and Pursue Your Passion, the company was delighted to share the brilliant accomplishments of the children who made their parents proud. The awards also lent itself to celebrating the legacy of former CEO of Peter and Company Distribution, Mr. Ricardo Leonard. Daughter of Ricardo Leonard, Ariel Leonard, says her father's drive for education made him the perfect candidate for the renaming of the scholarship awards.
He was very passionate about what he did, and he always believed that education was always the key to everything you do in life. He always thought that, when you have education, even though you're well balanced and you have sports and whatnot, he always thought that education would be that one thing that will push you in life to get you wherever you need to be, because you have that one standing thing that will assist you no matter what you do, no matter where you go. Even though you have a little side thing like sports, for me, I had volleyball and netball, but yet still, some time in my life it will feel I will get old and it won't always be there, but yet still I will always have education, because knowledge is power and knowledge is forever. And knowing that he taught me all these values, it just shows that he is really a gift to have it named after him, because that really shows his personality and who he really was.
One recipient, Melanie Mathre, daughter of Ed Mathre, expresses her gratitude to PCD for the investment into the lives of students.
I promise to continue to work hard, focus on my studies, and make my parents, PCD, and myself proud. Not forgetting Mr. Leonard, I know we all know he's looking down on us and has a proud look on his face. Thank you and enjoy the new school year.
Meanwhile, CEO of Peter and Company Distribution, Michelle Kalou, says the criteria for choosing the recipients of the scholarship award were based not only on grades, but also participation in extracurricular activities. She says the scholarship falls in line with the desires of PCD employees to give their children a better life and more opportunities than they had.
We believe in honoring the commitment that our staff give to us. This is how we honor it, by ensuring that the children of our staff are taken care of as much as possible. And this is one of the few things that we definitely feel we can do. We do many others, but this is one of the most significant, because when we speak to our staff and we ask them what's important to them, what's their biggest and greatest achievement, they all say their children. So this is our way of honoring that.
The scholarship recipients were encouraged to take on every challenge and live life fully. PCD continues to embrace and celebrate diversity, ingenuity, originality, and creativity, and looks to empower the future leaders of the country. Recipients were also encouraged to follow their passion, be it in academics, sports, art, music, or their own unique form of self-expression. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Sola Jalfred.
The Windward Islands Packaging Company Limited, Winera, is one of the oldest public-private ventures in the OECS. With the demise of the banana industry, this company had tittered on the brink of collapse to return to the fore as a Caribbean success story. On Friday, the 6th of September, Winera became one of the few St. Lucian companies to achieve ISO certification.
By the mid-2000s, the banana industry was a figment of its former self, and this left Winera on the brink of collapse.
The company has gone from supplying at least 80% of its production to the St. Lucia market to supplying at least 70% of its production to Caribbean markets, ranging from Jamaica and Bahamas in the north, all the way to the Guyanas and Suriname in the south.
21 years ago, Winera became the first St. Lucian company to obtain ISO 1994 certification. On Friday, the 6th of September 2019, the company once again unveiled the coveted award of ISO 9001-2015 certification.
The purpose of the standard is to assist companies in meeting statutory and regulatory requirements relating to their product while achieving excellence in their customer service delivery. It contains eight key principles of quality management, which is being customer focused and having customer satisfaction, leadership, the involvement of people, a process approach, a systematic approach to management, continual improvement, a factual approach to decision making, and mutually beneficial supplier relationship.
Today, nearly every item made in St. Lucia and packaged in a corrugated cardboard box comes off the Winera assembly line. Everything from Baron food products to brewery beverages to pizza boxes.
This ceremony has been organized to give deserved recognition to our workers and employees for having achieved this milestone, and also to reinforce our commitment and promise to our valued customers and the end user of the products that whatever they pack will be in the highest standard of quality and integrity.
Winera is a prime example of a public-private partnership where the governments of the Windward Islands own 50% of the company and Papelera Industrial of Venezuela owns the other half. According to the company, this arrangement has been beneficial to all parties concerned for over 48 years.